Last call for alcohol. It's the Rockefeller. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, love, and light. Peace to you and yours. What's good? Tapping in on this beautiful, majestic, magical moon day. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Spring is here. You can feel it in the air. Spring is here. You can feel it in the air. Spring is here. You can feel it in the air. You shouldn't have a care in the world. Let your hair down. Let it unfurl. Yes, this is the time of rebirth. This is the time of renewal. You know, the birds are back on vacation. Right? They had all the birds in Miami over the weekend, and then the other birds flew. I'm sorry. I was watching footage come out of Miami, and they was like, yo, people done had, you know, like, they had their party bottled up in them for 2 years. Right? They say the spring break has been on break for 2 years. So people couldn't wait to get down there to Miami and show their ass. Literally. So all of the other birds, they couldn't compete. So they had to fly back up north. So the birds are out. The trees are budding. The cherry blossoms are blooming. The sun is out. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day here in the A. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you how the trees are budding. You know, trees are budding. Feel me? All of the trees are budding. Look at all of this new life coming forward. You see them budding? You see the newness of nature? The astrological new year, what it promises, right? And the astrological new year means that that's when the planet is on its cosmic clock. Now, there's a lot of arguments and perspectives on time based on different calendars, indigenous calendars and everything of that nature. But there's a way to, like, simultaneously exist in all of these different time dimensions. And to me, you know, somebody that's on a different time zone, they kind of in a whole different dimension, a different dimensionality. When I went to the UK and I met the family out there, they're on a different time zone. And they're like on a different dimensionality altogether. Their brains operate different. They reason different. They have a different global outlook. And the way that they're calibrated to move is different. You know what I'm saying? Even when you go out west, they're on a different time zone. So they're on a different dimensionality. Coupled with the fact that the melanin, right, is being impacted by energy that's coming off the Pacific Ocean. You feel me? So it impacts the melanated man and woman on the West Coast entirely different. Those people are a lot more laid back. They're not in a rush to do anything. You got to wait on them. They stores open at 11 a.m. and they close at 5 out west. And they're very unapologetic about that. You got to wait on them. They're not in a rush. But here out west, where time is compressed, you know what I'm saying? You kind of like on a hamster wheel. You feel me? Everything is sped up because there's a compression taking place. Think about the swath, because we need to revisit time zones. And how do they lay out time zones? Is it based on longitude and latitude lines? Because it's the same time up and down the entire East Coast, but it's not the same time up and down the entire West Coast, right? The West Coast goes to, I think, 3 different time calibrations. You feel me? Africa has 6 time zones. Okay? But the East Coast, it be the same time in New York than it is in Mexico. I think, right? Somebody tell me what time Mexico was on. But the same time that it is in Maine, it's the same time it's going to be in Miami. God damn it. Let's get that together. Right? And that's a very wide-ass coast. If you think about the whole scope of the U.S., think about the map, right? If you think about it like a guitar, they show you that the East Coast is kind of larger or longer in width than the West Coast, because the West Coast would be the back of the guitar. It's more compressed, right? Mexico and Chicago got the same time. Like, yeah, this shit needs to be explained to me. You feel me? Because the whole time zone thing, you know, it really has people out of sequence. And if they can get you out of time, then they're always going to be able to keep you out of your mind, because you never have foundation. You know what I'm saying? And our ancestors used to always utilize this device called the sun. That's how we told our time. You know, we were signaled by our internal clock, our circadian rhythm. You know, when I'm out west and I'm in Arizona, my body wake up at 5 a.m. on a dime, no matter what's going on. I could have even went to sleep at 3, which I wouldn't, because I can't even do late nights out west. It just wouldn't even work. It just does not even allow my body to do late nights out there. You know, my body starts winding down, and it's more so in accordance with the circadian rhythm of the body. I experience more of that connection when I'm out west. Since I've been back in Atlanta, time has been off. It's just been off. Right? And I mean, Atlanta's off. It's not just the time. That's a whole nother story. But whatever magic that they're working on this grid to cause the unbalance of masculine and feminine energies, which fluctuate into relationships, and that fluctuates into society, and that fluctuates into compression of time and everything else that goes on out here. This shit is off. Now, I remember back in 2010, we had did a ceremony on Stone Mountain, and we went into a part that was closed off. It was restricted, and we went into it. How are you? And we were able to find on the backside of that mountain, they were doing ceremonies back there. They had stone altars set up, and in the shape of a pregnant woman, it was a black woman because she had braids, right? They had a pregnant woman on a coffin. It was a stone coffin. And they had striations carved into this coffin that if you looked out into the skyline of Atlanta, it was identical to the skyline of the Atlanta. So I'm thinking, and then they had like Jane loves Jill and shit like that written on the floor in stone. So I'm like, whatever ceremony they was up there performing, and you gotta understand the skyline of Atlanta composes of 2 types of businesses: banks and energy companies, right? Both of them are controlling the current, and they're both tied in and tethered to the people of the city, because everybody's playing Georgia Power. Everybody is dealing with Atlanta's the financial center. They say New York is the financial center, but Atlanta's a financial hub. This is where the credit union is at. This is where the banks got their major offices, right here in Charlotte. Mecklenburg County, Queen Charlotte, shout out to her, in Atlantis. This is where they control the current. You know? Smoothies? Oh, from over there? You want to? Okay. I want my baby. I ain't gonna put her on camera, but she gonna say hi.
Hey, hey people. Happy spring. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So I take her out on daily walks so I can talk my shit in public. I'm pollinating the air, pushing my predilections on the public. So I'm out here pushing peas. But look, it's real peaceful where I'm at. Like, I'm in the Shire. This is like, yeah, it's the Wilshire. I'm in the Druids. I'm not Irish, but I do got some of my blood I found out recently. How are you?
Hi.
That's a discussion for another topic. And it wasn't even forcefully placed there either. It was a consensual relationship, I'm finding out. How are you? Amazing. Have a great day. And I told my lady I was going to get back to, I had a routine of mine where I would just go around the whole place and just greet everybody and anybody that I come into contact with like the highest of salutations. And that is an expression of gratitude and also an acknowledgement when you come into this fully realization of your relationship with the all. You know, like everything in existence has that spark of light from creator in it. You know, that's how you relate it to everything based on the light. And anything that's animated has that light, that spark in it. And that's how you relate it to them. So in order to be the one, you got to acknowledge the 99 as, you know, like the namaste. I see the God in you in order to see the God in me. That's a real practice, you know. You got to go beyond just like mouth professing that and actually activating that principle. And then you'll see that you can collapse the wave. And the wave is where the confusion exists because it's an artificial construct, you know, based on the filters that we have with our eyes that were placed there by society that tells you, yo, this person is that person. You ain't even meet that person yet. You don't know who they are. And the people telling you damn sure don't know who they are because they didn't ever take no time out. Right? So look, in accordance with time, because it's like spring just happened, you know, and I'm walking by so many trees that have blossomed and they're responding to the time that we're in. You know, whether the white man calibrated the calendar or not, you know, nature knows when to blossom and spring forth, you know what I'm saying? And come into the newness of life of herself, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm not even caught up and hung up in this or that. You know, maybe it's both. We live in a quantum reality where I said we can entertain simultaneous simulations. What does a simultaneous simulation look like? It looked like in my mind where I acknowledged the fact that January 1st, there was an aspect of a new year and we acknowledged it even though it was in the dead of winter. You know, I have an understanding that we're celebrating our alignment with Sirius. Sirius is Heliacal rising. During December 31st is directly horizontally above us. So that's that particular new year. I get that, but everybody doesn't. But we still acknowledge it. And then the acknowledgement of astrological time or the astrological new year is like, okay, now I have this appreciation for nature, you know, and natural cycles and things that go along with that. And then there's so many other aspects of New Year's, you know, the Ethiopian calendar is 9/11. We can understand that to be a new year because we're saying, oh, that's a metric of time, even in the Western mind where they say things started brand new or things are called post 9/11. So 9/11 is a marker for a new time or a new age already in our mind. We just don't see it like how the Kushites see it as being a season to celebrate, a renewal. It's melancholy for the Westerner because it's attached to a tragedy, huh?
Or you want Bombay?
Could we make Bombay in time?
Oh, no.
Okay. Yeah, so, and then we just experienced, you know, the Chinese New Year, right? And they, that's in accordance with them. They align that up to a calendar into a particular celestial sighting, just like Ramadan is aligned up to a lunar calendar and a celestial sighting, just like Easter is aligned up with a celestial sighting. And all of these celestial sightings have ramifications in nature, especially because of the fact that they are based on, a lunar measurement. And a lunar measurement is going to directly affect Earth cycles because the moon has a direct impact on the planet. And that's a whole nother science. That's a whole nother conversation. And, there's a lot to be said about the moon. There's a lot to be said about a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, as much as we can say about the moon, as much as we can say about the sun, we also saying nothing. Because at least Western science, it doesn't have all of the answers for both of those, glorious spectacles in the sky, if you will. They don't have the science down 100%. They're still learning. Admittingly, Google it. They'll tell you. They like, we don't know this shit. We still trying to figure it out. I can say that our ancestors always knew. And that wouldn't be a stretch of the imagination. But yeah, these are some beautiful, it's my beautiful backyard. I get to tap into a sense of peace and a clarity of thought. And you just hear the birds. They got a language of their own. They be chirping. And these, the trees are majestic. This is this is the forest. I live in a forest. And it's like an enchanted forest too, because this is where the Druids is at. And that term within itself is dealing with the whole concept of an enchanted forest. So these forests is very enchanted, but they're beautiful, they're majestic. And it's like a perfect blend between nature and civilization, Look at this house. This house is beautiful. That's a beautiful piece of property. And it's like you could just carve a little patch out of nature, and you can create an oasis. You can create a paradise wherever you're at. Wherever you are, you should always look at nature as being somewhere that you can cohabitat and not even disrupt the ecosystem. The colonizer, he might come and knock everything down and create a subdivision. Or he might think of more useful ways to build around nature and incorporate it into the backdrop, the tapestry. You feel me? But you do what's on your heart, what you feel is going to be most responsible and sustainable. I like what they did with this block. This is real high end. I'm going to show it to y'all. They got the big cribs over here. You know what I'm saying? These joints is nice. Nice cul-de-sac. It's about 6 or 8 houses back here. They are enormous, ginormous. You feel me? But it's a small little community. And them people is in the cut. They chilling. Right off the shoulder of nature. That's a good look. That's a good look. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see us engaged in like stress-free living. You know, what will we be able to create as a people, you know, without rent over our head and you stressing on a mortgage and shit like that? Feel me? Or even a job. Like, that's so old world. You know, there's other ways, there's other means in which we can employ our skills and our talents, our creativity, and also the availability of a lot of these financial tools and instruments that you can make your bread remotely. You don't got to go into an office to do that. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to go into an office to do that. You should be able to do that from the comfort of your community and be finished with it at a particular time that you can get into your mind and start mining it, figuring out what treasures you got buried deep. What treasures in your mind that you have buried deep that you can dust off, polish, and refine, and bring to market. You know? Now you like, damn, I don't got no rent. I ain't stressing over food because the community is growing it. And then you got your intellectual property that's feeding you, right? And everything is yours. But if you do it with a community, then it's even that much more impactful, because now y'all could go and as an investment group, you feel me? Y'all could even make it that much more easier. Buy food wholesale, stuff that you're not growing, anything that you got to import, do it as a unit, right? They got these houses out here, and people, y'all can say what y'all want about tiny houses and container homes. They got some of them shits rigged where they super luxury, right? And they all the way upstairs. I done seen 2-story tiny homes that they look exquisite. Yo, you could afford that shit. You know what I'm saying? You could pay 40 and 50 racks on a tiny home and be good. And be part of a tiny home community, right? Housing is one thing, but you're really looking for community. That's what's going to transform this shit. Dig what I'm saying? Community is what's going to transform this shit. And a lack of community, or this shit just being an online community, it's not going to go where it needs to go. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to go where it needs to go. You know, if you don't, because y'all mad independent and shit, if you don't think that you need one another, I bet you that your children do. You know what I'm saying? I bet you that your children, you know, they need other children that think like them, that can relate to them, that can inspire them, that can teach them, that can reach them. You feel me? So it's really community is what people are seeking. You know what I mean? I mean, lifestyle is one thing, but how you really, you know, living is a whole nother demonstration. So I'm saying all that to say as well that these are some of the initiatives that we're actively working on with the Netaverse. You know, everything that I'm kind of talking about, we have solutions built in for that. You know what I'm saying? On purpose, on time. Because I don't want to just be up here running my mouth, you know, coming across like I'm just complaining. But These are the conversations, you know what I'm saying? I'm expressing the internal conversations that I have on walks like that come up with solutions to be like, okay, this is how we can do this. This is how we source the resources for these solutions, you know, and just like magic, the universe, it starts to provide. It'll magnetize and bring people into your circle, you know, that have the missing pieces. And be like, boom, this shit is doable. I can see it. You know, I can see it. It's definitely attainable, you know. Nothing that we need for our personal freedom and our liberation, on our own terms. Can't nobody liberate us but us, right? You got to ask yourself this, ask your leadership this, you know, what's your version and your vision for liberation? What does it look like? What does it feel like? You know, what day do you have earmarked for it? Where do we look like on the trajectory to it? You know what I'm saying? What's it going to look like on the balance sheet? What's the budget for it? Give me the fucking tangibles. I need to know. You know? Are we moving towards liberation, or are we slowly backsliding into slavery? Digital slavery and shit like that. And it's going to be very hard to wiggle out of that one. I tell you, that's the nail in the coffin. You know, and I think you got enough experts on that to tell you what can possibly go wrong with digital slavery. I think that our people are overqualified, you know, in explaining all of those horrors. But what if we get technology right? You know, where are those conversations at? What if we actually put together a plan that's so methodical and thought out and executed that not only do we get it done, but we did get it done in a record amount of time. You know what I'm saying? So this time next year, these conversations will sound totally different. Like totally. Feel me? So it's like none of us should be afraid of some work. That's what the sun is showing you. The sun just broke through 3 months of perpetual death in winter. And the anagrams for that is cap, right? They had the cap. They had the covering in the cap on the pyramid. So what is a pyramid? The meaning of pyramid is fire inside. The pyramid, what's fire inside? The sun. They had the cap on the sun. What's cap? Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Right? They say that the sun dies for 3 days. And it goes from Sagittarius into Cap. It starts the Cap period. After the 3 days of death. And then they say that the sun is reborn on Christmas. That's the day that it goes into Cap. Not only going into Capricorn, but it goes into Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. The 3 months of winter when the sun don't have its lion's mane. Right? Its lion's mane is the shortest in those 3 months. And what does the lion's mane represent? The lion mane represents the strength and the vitality of the sun. And what does the vitality of the sun represent? It represents that solar plexus. It represents summer. It represents the Lion of Judah. It represents victory. It represents strength. Right? And if you children of the sun, it represents you. So we are here in Aries season, and Aries is the ram. It comes ramming through. The Rams won the Super Bowl, nigga, so did you. If you children of the sun, you should be celebrating. You should be looking to knock something down. You feel me? That has been in your way for these months of decay. Right? Where you wanted to get shit done, but it was less than likely because you was under the pressure of Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. You know what I'm saying? Now you throwing up your fist. You like, nigga, who want to fight me? Let's get it on. That's that aggression of an Aries. But you got to, just slightly slow it down and channel it into something subsidiary, so you could bring about a subsidiary of income, right? Don't lose your head and blow your gun. Settle down, son. So the sun gets a little bit more aggressive around this time, and I'm an Aries rising, so you know I got my 44s out. Just calm down, because Aries equals 44 in Hebrew too. So this is a 44 season. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's gonna get progressively more uglier for Russia now that we are in Aries season. Because I keep asking people, what color's the Ukraine flag? What color's the Ukraine flag, y'all? Look, he got the fox on. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm thinking that hat, my boy.
Look, serendipity. He got that blue fox on. My guy. I appreciate you. Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Oh, you made that, yo?
I earned it. I ain't make it. It's my spirit totem. Yeah. Blue and yellow. So the same colors as the Rams. You feel me? Y'all about to see some David and Goliath shit. You're about to see some David, and I'm not cheering. I don't have no ponies in this race. I'm just reading the prophecy, and I'm telling y'all what's about to happen. It's not going to end up how you think it's going to happen. It's not going to be that favorable for Russia. And that's going to create a vacuum that's going to lead to, it got to get ugly before it get pretty. And it's going to get ugly. Because we ain't even in April yet. We not in Gemini yet. And we not in Cancer. You feel me? So there's a trajectory that war takes till it gets to Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? When you set it off and you initiate it, thank you, baby. When you set it off and you initiate it to coincide with astrological cycles, when you put it on that track, it's going to follow that trajectory. You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to end cute. So, yeah, I want a bowl deluxe. Yeah. So, we'll get into that at another time. What are going to be the benefits? Because you got to think like a global strategist through all of these situations and definitely get your emotions out of them. Because it's just, all of this is part of prophecy. And it's all necessary. You feel me? And it's part of a very long, protracted campaign. But the way that you can tell that things are changing and things are moving in a very favorable manner is this sign of the changing of the times. Peace. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm amazing. I love that coat.
Thank you.
You made it?
I wish.
Where have you been? Busted.
Look, I had to go run some errands. My bad, yo.
So,
Live your life, though.
No, I just see, what the fuck is that, yo?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I follow you. You're
I
amazing.
appreciate you.
Oh, wow, I don't...
This is a fox.
Ew,
You
is it real?
It is
It's
real.
amazing.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate you. See this? You got paws on it.
Oh, gosh.
It got a hotel.
That is disturbing. Oh, Lord.
Nah, it's not disturbing.
It's
You eat chicken?
No, I
lovely.
don't. I don't eat meat at all, sir.
Okay.
So, yeah.
ooh.
It's a spirit totem, though. So
Yeah,
it's
it
not
You know,
disgusting
and I
because
actually-
it's ceremonial and it's spiritual.
I didn't mean to
And
disgusting,
there's an
but
import
it's
to the
so
spirit
disturbing.
of what the fox represents.
God.
Wow.
So I
Hey,
just learned
Fox,
about-
Thanks for crossing my path today.
Yes. I think. What's your name?
Benny.
Benny. And what's your name?
Zo.
I'm Zo.
No, my name is Zo.
Oh, you said I'm Zo.
Yeah.
Got it. Zo and Benny.
Who are you?
I'm Blue Pill.
Blue Pill.
Yes, sir.
Nice to meet you, Blue Pill.
You as well.
I feel like you have a nice spirit.
Thank you, brother.
Although your headwear is good Jesus.
Oh no.
So,
Nah.
but no, speaking about animal totems, I
Yes.
just looked at the other day because, like 2 years ago when I was home back in DC, I saw.
Y'all don't mind being on camera, do you? Because I was on live, so you on live anyway.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Look, this is Zoe, and this is Benny.
Hey.
Hello, peace.
And Benny
so
got a very dope swag aesthetic about her.
She does.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
And I mean, and I'm
Take one,
I'm,
Zoe.
I'm more than certain, Zoe, that once we get to know you, that you have
Oh yeah.
dynamic things about you as well.
I sure as fuck do believe that one, honey.
Right.
I sure do.
BRB.
So you just learned about animal totems.
Yes, because a couple of years ago, I saw a random dog out of nowhere.
Right.
And you know, I went to go help it because I'm going to the gym and I'm like, well, it seems like it knows where it's going.
Right.
And it avoided me in a way.
Okay.
So this is a couple of years ago, and I prayed to God. I'm like, God, I want to understand what that is because it seems so random, you know.
Right.
And a few days ago, when it was raining, I saw another dog, and it seemed like again it knew where it was going, and it had its tail tucked. It seemed like it was afraid and looking
Right.
for its owner. Again, I prayed for the dog to find its owner.
Right.
And then I just happened to look it up because I'm like, this is not a coincidence.
Right.
And I learned that dogs are an animal totem for healing. And
Yes.
this is the universe telling me that I am on the right path of healing. You know?
Okay. So you work in the healing
I am
modality.
working in here, yes, sir.
See,
Yes, sir.
so that's dope that you understood enough to trust yourself to say, not only am I asked creator for a sign, but I'm gonna follow through with that sign, get the definition and correlate it to my own personal journey. So you're making sense out of things that would normally be,
Yeah.
nonsensical, if you will, because somebody would just see it and say, "Oh, that's random," or even if you see a pattern of it, I don't know what to make of it. But you took the extra step.
Yeah,
So
likewise.
I appreciate that, and that's how, you really attune yourself to your journey. That's how I got to this hat.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was following spirit,
Yeah.
and spirit led me to it, and it's what I needed at the moment because, yes, it was part of spirit medicine. There was a confirmation to me, that my journey had taken another notch, and I had to do it as an individual. So foxes, unlike wolves, they hunt individually. Wolves hunt in packs, foxes don't. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go on a self journey, and this was what I needed as the totem for that. You know what I mean?
So
Well, thank you for that.
So I appreciate you, Zoe. I appreciate you, Benny.
appreciate
All right.
that. Absolutely.
Y'all continue to, just put good positive energy into this universe so we can create a cycle that we're gonna benefit from.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Have a
Peace,
nice
y'all.
day.
You as well.
Peace and love.
Peace. Yeah. So that was good. You know what I'm saying? Because you get an opportunity to see what it means to be truly conscious means to be aware. You know what I mean? And the universe will show you signs everywhere that you go. It's almost like if we live in a fishbowl, how can you know what I mean, get away from whatever is part of that particular demonstration? So yeah, we all exist in this fishbowl. You know what I'm saying? So none of us are separate from the other in this fishbowl. So I don't. You know what I mean? Yeah. Right. And the path of the fox is a very spiritual path. You know what I'm saying? The path of the wolf is a very spiritual path. All of these animals have what's called spirit medicine with them, and they all considered totems. So if you come across them, if one comes into your path, you should always look up what the meaning of that is, because that spirit or that animal is relaying a message, is conveying something to you that you need to know in real time. Thank you, baby. What you get? Look, she got this amazing little shirt on that I just love so much, and I think that y'all love it too. So let me know if y'all love it, because I told her that she should make some on her site. Cosmic Dust. You like this? Ooh. Not the, don't be smart, y'all. Yeah.
What happened?
But it was dope. I was having a meeting with a designer in the Netaverse, and I was telling her, I was like, yo, you know, we as the men, we came up with this mental idea about what the Netaverse is, but I was like, we need females to help build it out. And I was like, because y'all are the creatrix. You know what I mean? Y'all are the mothers in the matrix. Y'all are the creatrix. You know what I mean? Like, the women should be responsible for etching out the visual components of this world that we're building. So it is dope. She just popped up with the shirt and shit. I don't know if she overheard my commentary, but
Actually,
she shares, she shares the other part of my brain. So it's no surprises there. I'm talking about, yeah, we got that synergistic thing going on. You know what I'm saying?
Telepathy is just increasing by the minute.
Yeah, and that's really the signs of a fruitful relationship, when you and that person can share the same brain. Y'all can like experience telepathy, finishing sentences and shit like that. And you know, always like, if I'm thinking something, then she say it, or if she's saying something, then I'm thinking it. You know, that really speaks to becoming a quantum mind. Because what's his name? Napoleon Hill. Yeah, he wrote in his book, What We Grubbing On? How you pronounce that?
I think it's acai bowl.
Acai bowl. I got acai bowl, and she got some avocado toast. But that's non-gluten, so they not going to war in Belarus for that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got off the wheat, so we not impacted by the Russian war. Yeah, go gluten-free, nigga. Your life can depend on it. You know, hurry now. You're going to be paying $11 for bread. You better go get you some spelt bread. Stop playing. That shit is softer. Yeah, hurry now. You know? In my acai bowl. Yeah, I like acai. So I'm not gonna hold y'all because I want to go and eat. You feel me? But look, oh yeah, I got a dope event coming up on on Wednesday with Professor Kaba Kameni, and it's gonna be on the Netaverse Clubhouse, and it's gonna be titled Rise of the Super Sapiens. You know what I mean? And I want to speak about the ability the technology can afford us to become super sapiens. If humans are teaching machines how to become better machines, what about machines teaching humans how to become superhumans? Right? And I'm gonna lay this shit out in a collegiate, strategic, very delegated way that I do my dissertations these days. You feel me? And we're going to bring the master teacher himself, Kaba Kameni, and we're going to breathe life into these people in spring 2020. We only talking about life. We made it out of the death zone. We're not giving no energy to the death culture. We only talking about super psionic, super duper sapient shit. You know what I'm talking about? And we're gonna do one better. We're gonna walk that walk. Not even talk that talk. We're gonna show you it. You feel me? We're gonna show you us moving the moon and making the motherfucking sun blink and all types of shit. We're gonna show you shit that you're gonna have to question reality altogether and be like, how them niggas did that? That was Photoshop? How, Sway? Nah, that's just working on ourselves, doing the inner work and the shadow work in the winter months. So when the sun come out and we get into spring and summer, we can align ourselves into that upward trajectory of how the sun moves like this. You know, the sun is moving to its most elevated, station, its most loftiest position. And that's where we should be moving as a people as well, tethering ourselves to the upward trajectory and the upward mobility of the most powerful, life-giving force in this universe that we get to tap in and benefit from, and that's the sun. And yeah, there's Sirius and all types of other energy the sun is transmitting and relaying, but let's pay homage and acknowledgement, to the sun in its newness. It's time of newness. I'm gonna show y'all some footage I captured of the sun today, and it was majestic. The sun is beautiful. Yeah. It's coming. Look at the sun, y'all. Look at that sun. It's like an angel. The angle of light. Yeah, so I was meaning to say that Napoleon Hill was speaking about formulating your quantum mind. Well, he had a word for it. I'm missing it. What is it? You know what I'm talking about? In so many words, he was just saying that when you and your mate have a combined mind, when you meditate on the same goals, let me get a piece of that. When you share her food, you're like, nah, you're not gonna finish that. You're not gonna finish that without me getting a bite. You know what I'm saying?
I thought you would have stopped.
When you can get away with shit like that, then y'all on to something. And you can access, the quantum mind. That's when you could get into your super consciousness.
That's quantum entanglement.
Yeah, that's quantum entanglement for real. You know what I mean? So this Wednesday on Clubhouse, I want y'all to pull up to the Netaverse Presents The Rise of the Super Sapiens with Professor Kaba Khamenei. It's going to be an event. It's going to be a super dope event. You feel me? And we're going to take it all the way up and out of the stratosphere. All right? And with that, I want to say peace, love, and light. And I'm going to see y'all when we tap in again. Peace.